by Metropolitan Methodios of Boston. One of the fundamental teachings of Christianity, as we all know, according to the book of Genesis, is that God created humanity in his image. Ancient witnesses have interpreted this to suggest that human beings possess qualities that reflect God's very presence. This is especially true with regard to human freedom. Freedom is that which distinguishes humanity from the rest of created order. And because of our freedom, our actions represent far more than a primitive urge to survive. Because of freedom, we rejoice when our brothers and sisters succeed and empathize with and care for them when they suffer. Today we have come together, clergy and laity, men and women, Orthodox, Roman Catholic, and Protestant Christians, to exercise our freedom and bear witness to the plight of Christians living in the Middle East, the land of Christianity's birthplace. For 2 millennia, Christians in this region have professed love for and lived in peaceful coexistence with their neighbors, regardless of faith, ethnicity, or race. We cannot turn our backs and ignore the current situation. We must deplore the wanton destruction of Christian churches, monasteries, convents, orphanages, and hospitals throughout the Middle East, and all unspeakable acts of terror. We are all members of one family bound by our commitment to Jesus Christ, and as such, when one member suffers, the entire family suffers. While the majority of speakers will focus their attention particularly on Iraq, Syria, and Egypt, please permit me to discuss the condition of those members of our Christian family in Turkey who have endured a similar fate, living as they do in a country where they constantly struggle for basic human rights, equality, religious freedom, safety, and security. The issue of Christians in Turkey is relevant to our conversation today, precisely because the Christian experience in Iraq, Syria, and Egypt has been the experience of Christians in Turkey for almost a full century. Indeed, since the establishment of the Republic of Turkey in 1923. Let us consider and reflect upon a few facts. When the Ottoman Empire entered World War I in late 1914, its Christian population numbered 4.5 million. This included Armenian as well as Greek and Assyrian Christians. By 1923, however, that number had fallen to 250,000. This was the direct result of the genocide of Christians in Asia Minor. As late as the mid-1950s, there were still over 100,000 Greek Orthodox living in Turkey. Today, however, out of Turkey's total population of 79 million, Christians amount to a tiny fraction, a little over 0.1%, and there are only 1,700, perhaps 2,000 Greek Orthodox among them. It is a painful fact that in the short 90-year history of the Turkish Republic, Christianity is nearing extinction. The plight of the ecumenical patriarchate and the Greek Orthodox community of Turkey is iconic for all Christians in Turkey, and tragically for our brothers and sisters in Egypt, Iraq, and Syria. There, a massive pattern of persecution and oppression is directed against all Christians who are experiencing nothing less than a human rights disaster of epic proportions. In Turkey, we Greek Orthodox have suffered and continue to suffer interference in the free governance of our church. We are not free to train our clergy because the theological school of Kalki, which served as the main training ground for Orthodox Christians in the region and represented a center of ecumenical engagement between Christianity and other faith traditions, remains closed by the government of Turkey for more than 43 years. Christians suffer economic disenfranchisement as our personal and communal properties have been confiscated and destroyed by the state. We have experienced the conversion of our churches into mosques, such as the Church of Hagia Sophia in Nicaea, the Church of Hagia Sophia in Trabzon, and threats now by the Turkish Prime Minister and his government to convert the great Cathedral of Hagia Sophia in Istanbul, one of Christianity's most glorious places of worship and a world treasure precious to all faiths, a UNESCO World Heritage Site, into a mosque. These measures have caused great pain and sadness for all Christians in Turkey and throughout the world, and have led the Ecumenical Patriarch Bartholomew, the spiritual leader of 300 million Orthodox Christians, to express again and again his hope for love, peace, and freedom to prevail for all peoples in the region, peoples of every faith and tradition, believers and unbelievers, for all human beings. We are called to reflect the love and mercy of Jesus Christ and to speak the truth in love. We cannot remain observers to the injustices occurring in our ancient homelands, nor ignore the violence and anarchy endured by our brothers as we have in the recent past. Living here in freedom, we cannot be indifferent to the plight of the two Orthodox Archbishops, Paul and John, kidnapped in Aleppo, Syria over a year ago and still missing. If we wish to pledge our solidarity with our brethren in Iraq, Syria, and Egypt, then we must insist that the leaders of these countries meet their responsibilities to treat all their citizens equally before the law and to guarantee their safety and security. Until such time as there is peace in the region, may we remain prayerfully vigilant, and exercising our freedom, may we give voice to the souls of those who have been slain because of the word of God and the testimony they have maintained. And permit me to end with something that I think we all see. Every time we go to an airport or to a bus station or a train station, we see signs all over the place saying, if you see something, say something. Well, we have seen a lot. The time has come to begin saying something.